members, and welcome to another edition of Turf Talk. Todd Bone, John Lieberger here. We're going to talk today about the progress at Renegade. We'll touch on the driving range at Apache and show the progress there. And we'll talk about a few other agronomy projects that you have up your sleeve, Todd. So let's jump right into it. We're here on number 1 Renegade. We're looking at the new green complex for the white green. And tell us a little bit about what we've got going on. It's a much more playable green for our members.
Yeah, so well, hello everyone again, and glad to be with you all. And like John said, we are in the process of putting the finishing touches on number 1 back here. I know we've documented earlier about moving the bunkers and doing all that, and all that's done. And now we're putting the greens mix back in, coincidentally, as we're standing right here today, refilling this green after we made the slight changes to the floor of the green and made it less severe. So the ball will be a lot more playable. The left side of the green will be a lot more playable out of that low because we filled that in. There's a new front bunker on the left side, which helps us fill in that area on the back. So I think everybody's going to find it to be very, very friendly, a lot more player friendly, a lot better hole for us on a starting hole. And just excited that this process is going. And this will be one of the last holes we'll seed because of the work getting done. Chad Getz is going to be here this week again to kind of give us a final blessing. And then once we do that, then we'll probably seed this around the like October the 3rd, or somewhere in there.
So
in
number 1 and number 5?
1, 5, and 9 will be the last 3 holes just because of the amount of work that's going on those holes.
With the green complexes
Yeah.
and so forth in addition. Great. Well, that's awesome. I think this is going to be fantastic, and it's going to certainly be a great addition for our members. As we indicated earlier, these greens won't be playable until probably sometime in the spring, so we'll be using the gold greens on 1, 5, and 9 as we get started here when we open Renegade.
Yeah, and as soon as we can get them seated and everything, I'll have a lot better understanding of when that timing will be and kind of how they come in from seed and whatnot. As you can tell as we've documented on our practice putting green by the PC, Mother Nature can cause you some issues with rain and things. Sure. And we're getting to the end of that, so we shouldn't have any setbacks hopefully, but you just kind of want to have that caveat.
Yeah, there's only like 20 days left in monsoon season,
Yeah.
So knock on wood. Let's go out and show some of the progress at Renegade and some of the grass that has come up on the fairways and tees. All right, we made our way out to number 2, and wow, this looks amazing. So we've got seed in the ground. It's been down for how long?
So the tee box has been seeded for roughly about 14 days, 15 days, somewhere there, a little over 2 weeks. And the golf hole behind us has only been seeded 8 days.
Wow, and it looks amazing, absolutely amazing. The guy that was just here mowing these tees, was that the first mow that we saw? Or?
That's actually the second mow on these tee boxes, just because number 2 was one of our first tee boxes we seeded, or towards the beginning of when we seeded. So we kind of got them staged out in different life cycles right now, and we're having to treat them differently. We're spraying these for fungicide, fertilizing, and starting to mow, and we're just mowing the back 9 tees today for the very first time. So we're making progress. We've got all the tees are done. We're missing 1 tee on number 1 where the sewer line goes through. Okay. So as soon as it's done, we'll get it built, get it seeded. And then we just got done seeding number 12 tees earlier this week. So that'll be the furthest behind, but all the rest of the tees are pretty much like these that you see, or just a shade behind these that you see right here. And then the golf holes, 2, 3, and 4 look just like what you see behind us. They were all done the first time that we seeded. And then 10, 12 were seeded later last week. So we're just now starting to see some green tinge pop up on those. And then this week we're focused on 13, 14, 16. We'll have seeded this week. The following week we'll have 15, 17, 18. The week after that we'll have 6, 7, 8, and 11. And then lastly, like I talked about earlier, the week of October the 3rd, we're hopefully finishing up on 1, 5, and 9 and have everything seeded, which will give us about 30 days, hopefully, to grow in and establish before we open.
So I'm going to ask you a question that I know is in every member's mind that's watching this video. Are we going to open up the 1st of November or October 31st?
That's still our plan. That's
Okay.
still our goal. You know, it's a day-by-day thing, and how we see and how we progress. And We've dodged a couple big bullets with Mother Nature.
We had that one that set us back, right?
We did. We had one earlier that set us back, but we've had a couple since after we dropped the seed that could have really put a hurting on us that thankfully we got lucky and missed. So we're trending in the right direction right now, and we're going. Now I will tell you that the golf course will be 75, 80% when we open. It's not going to be fully 100%. So if members are expecting to come up here and find Apache or Chiricahua when they play, it absolutely isn't going to be the case.
Okay.
And so the turf will still be very juvenile, very young. There may be an isolated thin spot here or there or whatever. We're going to try to not have that. But the reality of just how we had to stage this in and do that's probably going to be the case. And that's why we're relegating carts to pass for the future until we see how this thing continues to progress and go. But just want to set expectation with it. The golfers won't hurt anything by that time that we open. The foot traffic and stuff should be okay. It's mainly the cart traffic and isolated traffic that would damage, and so we just want to really protect and give the plan a chance to mature.
And remember, when you do get out and play Renegade, replace those divots. That'll be huge. That'll really help us with turf rejuvenation. So please replace those divots, and when the divot's not replaceable, use the sand and seed mix that's in the bottles. Two things I want to touch on, Todd, for our members before we leave. The area around this tee here, that's not sod, right? What goes in here?
So you'll notice it'll be a change from what it was here, because there was a lot of sod that was coming up from the cart pass before, but we've gone back to the traditional desert tees like we've talked about here. So this will be desert scape around these. Eventually over time, our team, our staff will come back and we'll put some plantings back in here and help give a little character to this. But right now we're just trying to get everything grown in, established, clean up. This will all be raked up and looking pretty. You see a little blue tint on the ground right now. That's from us spraying fungicides on this young turf. But we'll have it cleaned up and ready. It'll just be a desert scape.
Great way to save some water.
That's right.
Absolutely. The other one, speaking of water, we put some irrigation in around the bunkers. So the bunkers that were kind of rough looking, or it was designed with that kind of rusty, kind of weathered look, will now be a clean, full grass finish look, which is what I like, and I think most people do like that as well.
It's made a huge impact. I know we've shot it before earlier on, but you can really see it now as we kind of finish these golf holes out, and it really got a clean, crisp look, and those pop-up irrigation heads we put in were a game changer.
All right, let's go show the members the new work that's been done up at Apache and how much tee space we've gained. Hello members, we've made it up to the Apache range tee. Todd, this is unbelievable. This looks absolutely amazing. Tell us how many square feet we had and what we have now.
So our old tee box, we had around 26,000 square feet of usable area. Now we have 36,000 flat, totally usable. So we don't have any of the double decker transitions, tough to mow, wasted space anymore. So we maximize our space in here, which is going to be a huge benefit for us as a club with the amount of use that we have.
Absolutely. So we're going to have a lot of turf rejuvenation as we rotate our ropes back and forth. Plus, we've added the concrete area back there for the artificial turf. That'll be very helpful during overseed, frost delays, when we need to be on it. When will that be installed?
So that's slated to be installed the week of September the 20th, so right before we're slated to open. So it'll be brand new once we open this range.
Oh, that'll be terrific. And because the tee is so wide now, as you go back further, we've added a couple areas just in front for some barber poles and target orientation and reference and so forth. So I think we've got it pretty much covered. It looks really good. We've added the clock up here so you can see what time it is, so you're not late for your tee time. We've also added another clock down by the putting green, which will also be a great help for those that maybe don't carry a cell phone or a watch with them. And I'm just excited about Apache reopening.
And one thing I wanted to mention about Apache is this is a Tahoma Bermuda that is sodded and young. And so we're going to let it grow for a while here in the summer, what summer we have left. We're starting to get down towards the end. We will probably overseed this late in the year and put some seed in here. So it's not going to be the lush plush seed like in tee box like you're going to see at CG range, for instance, how we normally do it. This is going to be a lot lighter rate, but we're going to overseed it late in the year this year to have some turf for the fall when it does go dormant, to have a security blanket on top of this Bermuda. But I just want everybody to set expectations that it's not going to be the full overseed like you'll see. Next year then we'll full overseed this range tee, but this year we got to play a little defense on it.
And technically, just so members that may not understand overseeding into Bermuda and so forth, when you have new Bermuda like this and you heavily overseed into it, you degrade the quality and the ability for that Bermuda to come back. Is that correct?
Yes, the process of scalping it down, lowering it down, opening it up, verticutting is all tough on younger Bermuda grass. And then when you grow that ryegrass in there, if you don't have a good Bermuda base, it will actually shade out and choke out the Bermuda, or can choke that out. So we don't want to have any issues with that. We want to play it safe, grow this in, get this as established as we can, as healthy as we can, which will lead into future years of it being a really healthy and strong driving range tee.
That's awesome. Well, you mentioned CG. Let's tell our members what we have planned at the CG range this year.
We are going to be overseeding the range floor. I know that'll make a lot of people happy after last year. If you go out and look at that range right now, it's absolutely beautiful. The Bermuda came in like we thought it would this summer. We have some minor imperfections out there, but overall it's really, really good.
So no more paint.
So no more paint. Yes. So we will be overseeding that range floor on the 19th. We will also be overseeding the big tee by the range house on the 19th. So it'll be closed. We'll push all play to the top tee until that tee's ready to go. And then also we're going to be shutting down the dog park on September the 19th as well for 10 days for overseed, and it'll open September the 30th.
Okay, so get a full overseed in there for the puppies. And then the top tee over at CG is being overseeded soon?
It will be after we get the big tee by the range house open. After it gets established and open, then we'll oversee the top tee and flip-flop the play.
So we'll use that and then handpick the range until, you know, we may even have to close it during overseed periods. Then once we have Apache and Outlaw range available.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, there you have it, members. Another edition of Turf Talk. Todd, thank you again. Very informative, very knowledgeable. Our members are going to absolutely have a great winter season. Thank you.
Thank you.